After the initial surge of success, Russian forces have doubled down on their strategy of sending small infiltration groups deep into Ukrainian-held territory, hoping to bypass fortified lines and unsettle local defenses. Yet Ukraine has quickly adapted to this evolving threat, tightening surveillance, improving coordination between units, and deploying mobile teams trained specifically to hunt down these covert incursions. As a result, the most recent Russian attempts have ended not in breakthroughs, but in outright catastrophe, with infiltrators detected, isolated, and eliminated before they could achieve any tactical effect. The attempted Russian breakthrough near Novopavlivka has reportedly been contained. 15 Russian troops were eliminated, 2 captured. All assault groups were neutralized. The 59th Brigade provided timely reinforcement, and clearing operations are now underway in the area. Russian soldiers fighting near Pokrovsk say they are eating bark to avoid starvation, while they face systematic extortion, embezzlement, and violence from their commanders, who send numerous men to their deaths and routinely execute others who are deemed inconvenient. Vladimir Valerievich Dulyanov, serving in the 6th Guards Tank Regiment, has recorded a series of videos which his aunt has released in an apparent effort to pressure the Russian authorities to take action against the regiment's commanders. Dulyanov has given a detailed account of the abuses in his unit, which reflect many similar accounts across the Russian army. He says that he is the commander of an assault platoon, but "I've lost many soldiers due to the reckless commanders, the rush and all that." In a video recorded on the 12th of September 2025, he says that his men are sent on meat-grinding missions, calculating that no one will survive and arranging everything necessary for this. Before launching an assault, his commanders ordered him to execute 5 of his own men. He does not explain the reasons for this, but he refused to go through with it. They asked me to zero out my own people before the assault, people like me who came after the assault. They had no provisions, no ammunition, and they were being driven forward. At that moment, I was like a repeater. Communication through me was fine. I received both of the commanders. They told me to zero 5 men. Do you understand? What should I do? My conscience wouldn't allow it. I listened to it. The guys, I understand them. He says that he personally received such an order from a lieutenant with the call sign Twilight, but I refused to carry it out. Instead of murdering his own men, he persuaded them to join him on the assault so that they would have a chance of living. They all died anyway. They send groups to the far end, that is, the front line. They say there is still food there, that everything should be there. The squads arrive there, but there is nothing. They don't send planes or supply drones there. They say they can't fly there, although the Allies' neighboring units can. After that, they do everything to ensure that these groups don't survive. They sent us to storm. I survived. I was the only one. Dulyanov says that his unit had to attack without fire support. Although he survived, he was badly injured. After that, when I rolled back retreated, I had significant injuries, 3 shrapnel wounds and a sprained leg. In general, I couldn't get back any faster, so I crawled somewhere. I crawled for 6 days. It was 40 degrees Celsius. For 4 days, I begged them for food and water. What did they drop? But it was to no avail. During the mission, he and his men ate foraged apples and tree bark to avoid starvation. There's no fucking food or drink here. We're just chewing apples. Before, I was eating bark. Holy shit, the supplies are crappy here. He made it to the safety of a position held by the 24th Brigade, but found that his own unit had listed him as missing. There had been no attempt to rescue any of the wounded. The wounded are not evacuated. They are simply left to die. Dulyanov describes the infiltration tactics currently being used by Russian commanders as a form of deliberate murder of their own men. It happens in various ways, but the basic one is this. A group of 5 people with 1 ration and a minimum of ammunition is sent to the furthest point of combat contact. It takes 3 days to get there, through minefields, barbed wire, and under fire. Finally, exhausted and hungry, the fighters reach the enemy, their stronghold, and ask for fire support. They are told there will be no support, so just attack. But as soon as the group is detected, Ukrainian machine guns, snipers, automatic grenade launchers, and drones quickly attack and begin to zero it out. Dulyanov says that this is even scarier than Bakhmut. It feels like everyone's been sent away for a reset death. It's total crap. It feels like they've taken everyone to zero. Young guys, fuck, they're dying here, one after another. Bitch! It's fucked up. In a sign of the heavy political pressure on the Russian army to advance quickly, he says that the commander of the 91st Tank Division ordered the 6th Regiment's commander to seize a ruined Ukrainian-held village by lunchtime, or else be sent to an assault squad himself. The division commander said, "If you don't take the village by lunchtime, the regiment commander will be the one to get the hell out of there. He'll be the one to get everyone to the assault, everyone forward." Major General Alexander Sergeyevich Nilov's threat reportedly prompted Colonel Albert Ravilovich Bulatov to round up the regiment's wounded and send them into the battle along with the able-bodied men. The attack failed amidst carnage. First, they were given provisions for the journey. One ration for 3 days. That's understandable. And that's all. There should have been provisions later. But in the end, damn it, they saw neither birds or supply drones nor provisions. The men were wounded and stranded in a village which was nothing but bricks, with no drinks, no food, nothing. The guys kept asking for food, but there's no bird. They go on the air and shout, "There's no food, we can't walk, our legs won't work." And I personally heard the commander shouting basically, "Go on the attack, faggots!" Everyone was 300 to 200 killed or wounded before the few survivors retreated. Dulyanov says that his commanders routinely extort large amounts of money from their men. For some, it's a good amount of money. 150,000 to 200,000 rubles, 1,863 to $2,484. The money is taken on a voluntary compulsory basis, ostensibly for the needs of the unit. He names a specific recipient, Lieutenant Ruslan Daudgajievich O., call sign Darganets, to whose account the soldiers transfer funds, known as the company cash desk. Where the money actually goes is unclear to Dulyanov. Before the men go on assault missions, they are forced to leave their bank cards and PIN codes with their commanders, and they find that their personal belongings have been stolen if they return alive. Men who could testify against the commanders are murdered, Dulyanov says. He says that the order to reset the fighters is given by a commander with the call sign Sumrak and carried out by a soldier with the call sign Zayats. Dulyanov says that he firmly believes that God sees everything and will restore order. He blames his corrupt and incompetent commanders and implores Putin and the Russian Minister of Defense to intervene and set things right. All those bastards, the commanders, will get their comeuppance. I wish they'd take our place here. I want, God willing, Vladimir Putin, Belousov, and everyone involved in the leadership to simply restore order, destroy everything, dispossess all these faggots. Overnight, Russian forces launched 2 missile strikes on residential areas in central Balaklia, Kharkiv region. 3 people were killed and 10 injured, including children.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.